Hello. We're going to start shortly. So hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fall Demo Day 2021. We're super happy to have you here in this virtual space and capacity. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Pavle. I'll be your host for today. And I have also here Gaia joining us from our wonderful gallery studio in Impact Hub Belgrade locally. And actually, we have a small audience. So thank you. Appreciate for coming for people who were up for that. Most of our today's event is actually going to be online due to the whole situation, but we wanted to kind of provide also opportunity for people who felt like coming and joining us in physical space as well. So as you might know, Demo Days, I would say, our regular seasonal activity. We do 4 Demo Days a year, and this is the 3rd one this year that we're organizing, with the pure idea of actually showcasing some new and up-and-coming startups from the whole region. And to actually see who are those amazing founders working on some great solution and some great kind of solving great problems in that perspective. So we had as we always do, we had a campaign and a reach out to find some new faces, some new ideas, and hopefully some new businesses, scalable businesses we can kind of work and hopefully together support in growing their business endeavors and reaching new markets. So our demo day is always consists of 3 major parts, and shortly you're actually going to see the agenda. So in the first part with the intro, we always host like a V Founders live podcast, and Guy will be joining here together with Duška on amazing talk about how Duška went from 0 to hero or 0 to a million in a bit year and a half. So a really cool, successful startup story. Afterwards, we are going to actually move to the pitching stage. So we are going to have 7 amazing startups joining us for the pitching part in 5 + 5 minute format. So 5-minute pitch, 5-minute Q&A from the jury. We're going to actually have opportunity to meet the jury and hear their short reverse pitch in the beginning of the pitching stage. And then afterwards, while the jury is kind of crunching the numbers and figuring out who was the best of the day and most promising one, we're going to have a founders to founders conversation with Bojan from Tomapo, one of the startups from our past cohort of investment readiness, who achieved some really amazing results and has a really good and kind of useful tips and tricks for other founders on how to grow and scale their startup. And afterwards, in a very kind of short and sweet format, we're going to have a startup winner announcement and follow up with the next steps. Speaking of which, the demo day, I would say, is the most, visible part of our work and the public day. But in between demo days, we work a lot with startup founders, helping them achieve investment readiness. And so far, we have worked with over 400 teams over the years. And we are super happy to say that over 30 at this given point in time has successfully raised investment. So everything in pre-seed and seed from 50 to 500K, and we are very happy to share their story and kind of share their kind of success journey from that point on. So without further ado, I would actually switch now to the V Founders part and the live podcast part of the conversation. So maybe Gaia, can you give us a short intro about V Founders before we grab Duška online to join us in the virtual space?
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the We Founders podcast. As you may know and may have followed us already, the We Founders podcast has the mission to showcase the best practices and the successful serial entrepreneurs from the Western Balkans who are raising their businesses, raising funds, and sharing their practices on the way. So without further ado, today I'm very happy to be talking to our Dušanka Ilić. She is a serial entrepreneur. She's a great friend. We've been working together for the past, I would say, almost 8 years since the beginning of the journey of the Impact Hub. In the meantime, she's built 3 companies. She's raised funds. She's turned down quite a bit of investors, and she reached product market fit, which is a pretty big deal. And that's actually the theme for today, to hear from her how she just did that. So Dushka, do you hear us? Are you there?
Hey, Gaia.
Ciao. So
Has to just allow the video.
Can't see you right now. There you go. Beautiful. Well, Dushka, can you tell us a little bit about your third company, Beyond 42? I see you are wearing the t-shirt.
I just bought this one last week because it was non-essential, Gaia, until recently. But yeah.
Let's
So
be sure to take some of those t-shirts here in Belgrade.
No problem. Briefly, we started as continuing building a product for virtual communities. The pandemic started and we did the little pivot and pretty much building another product on top of it, which is software for the virtual events. And with pandemics and this huge shift of pretty much whole event industry that was offline moving pretty quickly to online, we managed to get a portion of the market, ship the product, and pretty quickly get the first clients. And fast forward year and a half, we got from very first 3 clients, which is 60K in revenue, to almost 1 million now. We're waiting for Vlado to close a few more deals, and that's it.
So Dushka, how did you come up with the idea? Did you come up with the idea during the pandemic, before the pandemic? What happened there?
We were building SaaS products, right? And we were making money, having clients, but Gaia didn't click, right? It took us a lot of effort, sales effort, to sell it, then to deploy the product, for the client to get the value, especially for the communities, because they're very fragile. It takes a lot of time to build it. So it was not something like I'm selling you PDF Word converter and within 5 minutes you get what you're looking for, but I'm selling you something that will compound over the year's time, right? And the trigger was when one of our community platform clients came and said, like, hey, our business stopped, right? That was 30th of April. On May the 3rd, we had the first platform. So they just shown us, hey, this was the venue where we were holding the event. We have to put it through, otherwise we're out of business. So imagine the sense of urgency and the frequency of the problem at that time. Everything stopped, right? And it was not like nice to have, I'm looking at window shopping. No. They didn't even have time to compare if there was anything better. It was just like, hey, can you guys, build it? So we had that first client trusted us, and what has been something that I haven't seen through my career on my skin, right, is that every single client brought us new one. That means that the product, so they were using the product while attending other conferences. And Guy, if you have that K number higher than 1, it's a good signal. And then, SaaS, it's always a dance between growth and retention, right? If you're putting a lot of things into the backend, but the backend is leaking, right? Doesn't make sense. You have to fix your retention. And for us was really, really good that our churn was net negative, right? So I didn't have to chase for the clients. And then the third important thing was what you mentioned, like investors, and why we didn't in early stage, didn't have a need to raise funds was because we didn't have problems with collecting cash, right? With the SaaS companies, you usually need a lot of time to build product, to prepare everything for scaling later, right? And then if someone's paying you monthly revenue, right, you see in 2 years' time all the money that you should get. But for us was like time to return cost of acquisition was 1 month. And not just the cost of acquisition, but even cost of delivery of the goods sold, right? And the second thing was we took all the money up front, right? Not because we, intended to, or we were that intelligent, it's just we had to. If you don't pay us in advance, I cannot build you the fear. And that's how I started it.
You said a whole lot of very important things in just a couple of minutes of your chat right now. So let's go back, hopefully, to pick on each one of them, starting from your customers. So you've always done that. You know, since I've met you, since I know you, you've always followed the customer. You've always really understood to the details how they function, why they need something, why they don't, and so on and so forth. Was it, so it's always been intentional from your side to build something to solve their problem that was so urgent. Did you see in the shorter term or longer term that the targeted customers from the beginning were the ideal types you wanted? Were they from, you know, geographies where, you know, those clients had no problem paying cash, and how much were they willing to pay? Did you have a lot of competition from the very beginning? What happens in there?
I'll tell you first for the clients, right? I spoke to Paula last week, as you know, and there was a joke that pretty much I'm repeating these days. Is like, when you're starting a company, they were asking me like, hey, Dushanka, what do you think, inbound or outbound? Yes. but for us was outbound, Gaia, because we already had experience. I was closing the outbound sales, but it was not like you know, spray all over and then trying to something to close, but it was account-based sales. We are not like enterprise or targeting enterprise clients, but still, even with the smaller companies, you can say like, hey, this is our wish list of clients for at least 10 customers. So I had a small list, then ask people that I had for introduction. Some of them I sent them a cold email and then called them, did a demo. And from the moment we closed 10 clients, that was it. I knew that we have a product market fit, because these 10 clients, they all came from different sources, right? They are our ideal clients because they stayed and they renew their licenses. So that's the only, you know, metrics. And so like, hey, are we solving their problems or not? Hey, they bought it the second time, some of them even the third time. That's it. And if out of one portfolio that was when we started the year, after the year one was 250K, we made to 350K, right? Without increasing the number of clients. It's a signal that there is something that we're doing good. As for the market, it's red, not from the lipstick, but from the sharks, right? There. But what I've learned throughout the years is there will be multiple winners, right? There'll be multiple winners. You have so many great companies doing pretty much similar things. What we did is we've chosen one thing that we will do the best in the world, and that's the 3D part. And I'm pretty much confident that in this space, we're doing really amazing job in this virtual really experience for this. And what happened is, like, when you have this high differentiating factor from other products, you can integrate. And for us, the way to growth is to offer, and what we did is maybe counterintuitive for some people, we did the first integration with our competitors in Vienna.
Right. So Duška, super interesting. Multiple winners, right? You do need the competition. You learn from the competition. And is that actually how you figure out where your specific and unique value needed to be in terms of the 3D and, you know, comparing to what everybody else was bringing to the market?
The same way, because I'm coming, guys, you know, sales and product, right? That's something that I love doing and I've been doing for years. In the same way, like, you are dissecting their products and are attending their demos to learn how they're selling, getting the materials and all these things where you have better companies, they built market for us. When we started this a year ago, the virtual events market was 60 billion. It will, in 2028, it will be 600 billion. right? Not because of us, right? Because of other great companies that have proven that it's very cost effective and there is high ROI for certain events to be held online for our clients, right? And then it is this, Guy. I think that the average IPO SaaS company has about 30,000 clients. I have 86. Right? Just to put you in context, right? And we are reading this stuff and trying to figure out what are they doing, but still imagine the difference. So we have 86 clients, right? And other people have 30,000. But we'll see. I think it's from 0 to 1, it's extremely hard to get there. Bootstrapped and all these things. Market was very favorable to us. We used it. I think we were very agile, very fast, and very brave in that to take commitments and do these things. But going from 1 to 10 in next 3, 5, 7 years, which usually companies that are not investment funded, they need time. We'll see how it will turn out. But it's really good to be us these days for a while, and then we'll see how
it's great to hear that, and you should actually say that out loud. Bravo for you and bravo for the team, but it takes courage also to say that, you know, you're doing a good job. So
for the client and the pricing, dear God, we changed pricing in a year time, maybe 10 15 times, something like that. We were selling something that was really, cost of production was higher for some of the first clients, but we just wanted people to use it, right? And as you know, in the lean, just get some money at least, right? Don't give it free of charge, get some money. And then we pretty much invested in them to use the product just to see if, but that comes is like, if you really believe that it will help a client, right? Then it's no brainer to even undersell it in the beginning just to see how it unfolds. And then we were selling something like a software license for 2,000 euros. Now it's 20,000, right? And there was any change in sales, right? We are closing 80% demos that we have when it was 2,000 and now that it's 20. But in SaaS, as you know, you have two parallel businesses basically. You have new sales, right? And then recurring or retaining these. Your delivery team. So what happened, what I knew and I learned the hard way before, what happens after you sell it. It's just like 10% of the things, and helping them to really get the value, use the product, adopted stickiness of the product, customizing a bit so they can really feel comfortable. And people were really scared, right? They were scared of the sound, of the thing cracking. The platform is this is the first product that I built that the platform is single point of failure, right? If it doesn't work, I destroyed your event. While if you're working on some software where it's like your accountant, someone fix you something, a bug in 30 minutes, you say like, oh, they were pretty fast. If I come back to you in 30 minutes, I destroyed everything pretty much for you, right? That's not fast. So that's when you think about like barriers to enter, it's extremely different market from a month ago until today, because these companies that are well-funded, big ones that manage to attract hundreds of thousands of clients, they're setting the standard. And then organizations, they don't want to go for the lower.
Yeah. So where are you in the market geographically? You know, what's your sweet spot, and are your competitors in those geographies as well?
We took two big undersaturated markets, which is not, it doesn't have to do with geography, because we're servicing pretty much from Australia to our third client was Australian university. So we, early stage, we went into many countries. We're selling this 86 clients are in more than 40 countries. So it's pretty differentiated, but it's a vertical. Top tier universities, especially Gaia, if they were attending or they had open days and attending fairs, recruitment fairs before the pandemic, so offline, right? If they had a recruitment team, more than 2 or 3 people, it's a higher chance that they'll buy the product from us. If they were using some of the products before, like other platforms and and products of other companies, it's a higher chance that they'll buy us. If they have monumental building or a part of the city that we can reconstruct in 3D, it's a higher chance that they will buy us. If it's October or January, it's a higher chance that it will buy, because there is a cycles in these sales to the academic institutions. And the second one are the pharmaceutical companies, because a lot of these things, their product launches, the trainings that are delivering to medical doctors and similar, it goes online. And the last one are the smaller parts are professional event companies, right? That are organizing events for other people, but we need maybe 18 months to be there and to take bigger portion of that market. For us going forward, it's probably to keep like standalone business, right? To have the platform to sell it like this in these two verticals, probably pharma and unis, and then to integrate with some other companies. And we already closed the first deal with one Vienna company that has 10,000 clients, will be their 3D part. And as everything, right? Entrepreneurship, it's not zero-sum game, right? It's not this, if you have a cake, I take portion of it and you have less of a cake, right? It's more if two of the companies can create more value combined than if we did something separately, and especially for the clients. And our clients really love the portions of that platform and then our 3D. So what I'll try to do is to make us, plug in for many of the companies missing the 3D component out there, because only 2 or 3 are having the 3D similar to ours. It's difficult to scale, right?
Right. So by the way, the Impa Hub is using actually your creation, right? Your 3D space. So
at the moment,
someone had to pay the price.
So it's great actually to talk about it and experience it at the same time. And so far everybody has had a great time on it. So
that's this, like the first clients, can't say for your public clients, but first clients are really part of the team, right? Because they pay the price of us shipping early, the ugly MVP that's barely, holding, but does the job, right? And if you survive that thing, servicing these 10 companies that decided to, I'm pretty aware that you guys or any other client of ours, they could have bought any software in the world, like literally any software in the world, right? You're working with pharmaceutical companies, so imagine that. And they decided to take chances with us, to take chance, right? And it's something that it gives like the energy to young and the small team that I cannot explain you. It has nothing to do with the deal size value or anything. It's just like, hey, look, they're using it. People are coming, and it's been fantastic, right? So far, and how you can see how the team progressed, and then you guys using the platform and the product a bit and the whole business around. But we'll see on the road to
satisfaction. And let's go back to your product market fit. This is, everybody talks about it. Very few people know how it looks like. The investors have their definition of what they mean by it from the perspective of instability. I heard you say already a few things about it during our conversation, and your definition of product market fit is not necessarily linked to profitability or revenue or share of the market. So can you just give us a little bit more insights on what it is?
Yeah, I literally think that you remember I called you one day. I was in Latibor and I called and said, hey, I think I have product market fit. And that was the 3rd day in a row when I was not selling, but people were coming and they were buying from us. And that was it. Like they literally.
You didn't even finish the sentence and they said, we want it.
They were buying even before the demo, so I would send a link. They would click on to see the platform, and then I would close deals, something that usually takes like a month time, let's say within a demo. And then you come back to the office next day and there are 3 more such messages in your inbox, or your calendar is fully booked, right? And all of a sudden you wish if you were octopus, right? But your team is still small and you cannot handle the influx of clients that are coming, because the product is not, even close to being servicing multiple clients, nor you have a team, nor anything there is in the place. But it pulls you, like, either usually it can break you, right? If you take and if you go into premature scaling of the operations or whatever, or you simply survive and you're out of valley of death. And it happens for us.
How did you survive in that turmoil? When more and more people wanted it in shorter time, you didn't have the whole product, you could not, clone your developers to make multiple platforms. How did you do it?
When you have, if you have in your head the journey to, to the hockey stick growth, you literally know in each stage what are your bottlenecks. And I knew pre-product market fits, you have to do 3 things: validate hypothesis, build MVP, close 10 clients. And I was going to the office with just these 3 things: validate that there is value, build an MVP, so just minimal thing, and then get 10 clients, right? The other things is just for you trying to find that repeatable part and predictable part. So if I put $5 here, 10 will jump out, right? and you're looking for that in the next phase. Gaia, when the things start going bazooka, the worst thing that you can do is to hire people, because you cannot not onboard them, right? It was extremely difficult for us because client is calling you and you have new intern or new VP of sales, whatever, you don't have a single paper, and that person, you're gonna waste their time, and you're gonna end up recruiting in a month time or 3 months time again, right? But technology is a leverage, right? Usually it's weird how sometimes when we're developing software, we forget about it, right?
Yeah.
The way to optimize sales, for example, usually is not, or the delivery is not by, creating new things for your sales team or delivery team, is by adopting the platform, right? So less of a human touch, because people are the most, prone to errors, or the most expensive part for the companies when you have this. So what we did is we started coding more. Sometimes you have to code for the clients, and in MVP you do that, and then you start coding for the scaling of businesses, that they can click and create a platform easily. For us, it was you would come to buy a platform, I'd say in 6 months, in 6 weeks time, you will get it, right? And we shrink that to 4 weeks. It was 3 weeks. Now you can get it in a week, and now you can get it on a click. And that was one of the decisions when these things started to, going there. And you can always push clients, because this was triggered by event. They would usually come few months in advance, right? Which was the benefits of the business, or maybe in some other cases is not the same, but you should be really aware when they need a platform, what is it for, what problems are they trying to solve, and guide them through this process, not to be stressful for them nor for the team, but to be an enjoyable one. And so we did, the first thing was to fix the platform a bit more, and then to slowly onboard new people, because we had 3 people. When we jumped to 9, it's not like I have a bigger team. No. Those are 2 different companies. So totally two different companies. And it's 3 of us sitting here around the kitchen table and selling something, and there is 9 of us, right? We'll see.
So, now, for example, you've been outside of Belgrade for the last maybe couple of months, whereas up until maybe April, May, you were fully focused on your company building and, night and day into the operations. So, when did you know that you could actually, manage the business remotely? What happened there?
when you set the system, right, and everything works if you are 7 days out of the office, that means that you have a company, right, from that moment. Before that was something that you were trying to put the fires out, right? So even before the pandemic, right, because it was just 3 of us, we were working remotely, right? But in a real sense of this, if you set the system, you onboard people properly, and then you set the foundation for the culture. So what type of company we are, what we do, what we don't do, right? What we stand for as professionals and as the team, as towards our clients, towards ourselves, towards our family, our free time, environment, whatever. And if you try to choose the people, right, in that sense, in the first part of the company, my main job was to make sure that it survives. That's it, just get a new client so we can pay salaries. That was it. After that was to basically set the culture, the system, and to get out so I can strategically think about it and move from day-to-day operations. Okay, this thing happened for us in a really short period of time, right? But recruiting, right? Usually, you post an ad and say, like, okay, in one time we'll get someone and your person will join. It really is crucial to recruit the right people for the specific business and the company, because for someone this is the best job ever, right? If you put another person that's like, hey, you guys are loonies, right? I don't want to do this nor deal with it. I want to have everything in order or whatever. But the digital onboarding and recruitment in the second stage were extremely important. But think about this, guys. We are still able to recruit people that are from within our networks, right? We hired people that someone from the core team was always working before, or we had really recommendation from someone that we trust and we admire in the business sense. But imagine if we were in a situation to hire 50 people. No way.
Right.
No. That's why we'll probably, try to, what I'd love to do is to keep the core team small, and then you have strong partnerships with other companies and entities to do certain things, but keep the product, sales knowledge in-house, methodology in-house, all the core operation, finance, of course, legal, and these things. And then the other parts, try to find the partners. And all these two companies.
Very smart. I see everybody from, more mature economies to, the Balkans, everybody struggling with talent acquisition, everyone at all levels. I was following a lot of trends from the US, and everybody's on the same place when it comes to talent acquisition. How do you know, right, when someone is the right fit with your company? At what point of the onboarding? Is there something that you look at in particular to sort of give yourself and the core team that idea that that's the person you want there in that position?
Well, I don't know, right?
You'll know when you see it.
Just like simply that. But what happens with the distributed work, Gaia, is that we open new areas. We couldn't probably, as a startup, afford maybe developer in Belgrade, right? But we can afford it somewhere who wants to work freelance and compensate for certain things and stuff. That's why we hire people from Lučani to Belgrade to Visoko to Sarajevo, and all these things working together. That was good for us as a small company, that we can tap into new market. And they're really great people that are also outside of the technical hubs in Serbia and some smaller places. Usually after 3 months, and these people also know it's not just it's one-way street, like we are looking and we are great. No, it's a tango, right? And then you see if it works for both of the sides. For us, it would be good to work in in a longer or mid-term period, because it's extremely difficult for when when you lose a person in team of 10, it's really hard, right? Well, if you have 1,000 people and then you count from the early, you have calculated that some of them will mathematically they will change the environment. But after 3 months, we know, because you already had a chance to see the team work, get some small task, you're onboarded, you've seen the colleagues, and it's more honest than the interview, right? You see me working, you've seen the clients, and it gets more real. You can sit after 3 months and make a decision for yourself.
Yeah,
and us as well.
Makes sense. I think that's the experience of the IMPA Hub as well, and a lot of other organizations.
Yeah. For my role in particular, for the CEO, is like to make sure that the vision is there and the people understand it, right? And that they're aligned. That's where we are going, right? And if that's okay with their emotions, their heart, their heads, right, the ratio as well, they usually would say like, hey, I'm happy to jump into your bus instead of some other bus.
Yeah. Well, in the next 5 to 8 minutes, I'd love for you to sort of share with us, if you follow some of your industry and market trends, how you do that, and how they inform some of your decisions about where to go next with your business.
Well, we follow like on a daily basis. I would sit like and read, you list your competitors to big incumbent companies, something that's far-fetched, right? And then the similar companies, and what you always count that there will be someone emerging, right? Especially in these dynamics things. And then in this part, where you do your, we call it like market adjustments and trying to see what is happening. There are certain things that we would love to have, but they're so far away from us, right? I just put it in a backlog, like you have a Jira tickets, right? You put it in your backlog just to have it there, and you capture all the knowledge, but you cannot act on it because you're not able to receive the value of that information. I cannot, deal with it. I don't have means, resources, time, nor anything, right? That's the first thing, and on a high level. And then for the individual companies, we usually look for the clients that came to us, but they switched, right? They had those conversations are extremely important for us, right? And Gaia, there is no other companies like, oh, the product is not good, or it's just there was some layer that they missed. And then you think about it, is this particular client or this problem is frequent? There are many of them that we can capitalize on this small gap that we managed to capture and turn that into another 100 clients or not, right? You assess the information. So like, oh, we're gonna act on it or we're not gonna act on it. But you just also that one put either in backlog or you put it in progress to go further. We do a lot of demos with our clients, right? I pretend to be a client, I bought more virtual softwares than anyone, and especially community building softwares, right? Because that's where you hear what they're pitching, how they're tailoring the pitch, what are the new things. Because these companies, they change. They don't wait for me, in Luciani sitting and reading my book, and then, they wait for me to figure out something. No, until within 2 weeks' time, there is a new feature, there is a new partnership, there is new thing that they integrated, there is some acquisition, right? It's really moving. But for us, it's important that these things are happening, right? That the market is vibrant, is creating new value. And then you can do two things, either to enter portion of this game. We didn't do anything, right? What we did, because we are small and really early, we just doubled the efforts on the things that are working. And we'll stick to it, Gaia, until we,
master it,
yeah, until we know. Because premature scale and these things, it's call me conservative. Like, I know what you think. Call me conservative, but putting the pedal to the metal before it's time, it can be really, really tricky. And next time I call you, I'll tell you, hey, I'm ready to get an investment. That means that I figure out where to put $5 always and to get 10. And I know that I can do it like.
But you come to me first, right?
I will. No problem. No problem. Yeah. So for the competitions, and then you have like always, I sit with my finance director as well, these things, how their balance sheets changed, because a lot of them, they declare like, portion of the money coming from the core business, then the other things, and we distribute and sell like how, okay, they did these things. And always for us was number of clients. We have a big company that grew from like, I think 30,000 to 100,000 clients. We were, super happy because maybe we can take a portion of it before we were taking some of the clients, and how others are doing it. You can always read by following their CEOs as well, for the ones that are more extrovert and building the social presence or these things. You can read those things, and in between the line, if you are into the business, you can get a lot of things from.
Dushka, I'm losing the audio just for 15 seconds. Try to talk now, please.
Should be working.
Yes,
is it?
It does now. Perfect.
So I was just saying that maybe we also follow some of the top level people, especially like VP of sales, CEOs, and these type of, if they are sharing something on the social networks, because there is a lot of things in between the lines for us.
Do you have some guiding star, from your perspective that
we have a company that we love? Does that count?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah. We myself and then the other they followed naturally is like it's Atlassian, Jira.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes, for example, when I think about our sales, I read recently that, don't hold me for the numbers, but let's say 2/3 of their sales comes through partnerships. And guess what we are implementing is 6 months from now? It's a reseller program, right?
There you go.
They did it on a 2 billion in revenue, Gaia. And you see how their product changed throughout the years, right? Before, like, I don't know, 10 years ago, you could have bought Jira on your server, you paid the thousands of US dollars, and then now it's $10, right, on a cloud. And it's the same company that managed to do this transition for us outside beautifully, right?
Yeah.
And it's really some kind of North Star for us. But still remember, we have 86 clients. So another 35,000 to go.
Well, there's so many more waiting for you. You just need to want to get to them.
Don't make this 86 happy. When we make them really, really happy, there'll be another ones, I'm sure, waiting. What might happen, guys, for us to pivot, because it's this 3D thing that we build is industry agnostic, and maybe some other markets that are underserviced. I wouldn't put my money on that in 2 years, 3 years time, we won't enter into some other area.
Yeah. What about, last question, what about technology? Is there some technology that's specifically developing with all these artificial intelligence going on?
What we did in this case is we used some of the technology that's more used in video games into non-game context, right? Work or event and these things. So we're building currently like little avatars and 2D interactive modes and these type of things. But what I've seen is, and what other companies acquired are AI tools for matching, right, for the events, AI scheduling tools, these type of things. A lot of things that have to do with voice and audio, like small inventions for the spatial audio, for example. Because when you think about it, Gaia, the future events is always on, right? They'll turn into the communities, which was a good thing for where we are coming from. And then we kind of solve these things. I can learn, right, through any video streaming, get 3 messages from it and try to do whatever with it. But the way we socialize online is awkward, and there'll be a lot of room
Yes.
for improvements there. And I guess that some humans will help us on the way.
I love this. Non-human humans. Absolutely. Dushka, thank you so much. It's always so much fun and so much learning to talk to
Okay,
you.
have you seen how it changed in a year time of product market fit, right? It's
And you know, we will never stop actually unfolding all of what that means. So I'm looking forward to actually our future events on these issues. So
2 of you are in the bus. So
there you go.
you better be, Pavle, helping us out to get uphill. I wish you a great conference, and be kind, Pavle, to startups. You know that I'm always on the side of the founders. I'm looking forward to see and hear the pitches, and then we see each other in Belgrade. Have a great day.
Amazing.
Thank you, Dushka, so much. A big hug from all of us.
See you soon, Dushka.
Ciao.
Bye. And thank you, Gaia, for the conversation interview. So as now we are moving to the second part of the agenda, I see that some of the jury members are joining us. So hello, guys, from different parts of the world. And maybe just a short technical input, and we can add also the participants in the waiting room. So where are we at the moment with the agenda? We're going to have a short 10 minutes break, and we're going to restart back at 4 sharp. 2 technical inputs, I would say, to everybody. The startups, you can actually prepare for the pitches and get your decks ready to be shared. We're going to add you a co-hosting right by the order. And on the other end, do keep in mind that one of huge purpose of this event is also networking and connecting. So whenever you hear or listen to somebody who might be interesting for you, be sure to shoot them a message on chat, start a conversation, see what's happening on that end as well. And maybe I would say a last technical point at this stage, but not least, because I know in an announcement we also had spoke about Kata joining us today and speaking about the pitching. Due to technical point, we didn't actually make it today to have her, but in some of the future We Founders podcasts will make sure to kind of have a proper time and have that conversation with her as well. So you're not gonna miss her. We'll be notified on that end as well. So hitting off with a short 10-minute break, and then jury. Startups pitching, be sure you have water, that your physiological needs are checked, and that you have everything right up in place, so we can start at 4 sharp and listen to the pitches of the day. So yeah, thank you, and see you in 10-ish minutes.
See you soon.
Hello, welcome back. So let's kick off the next part of the agenda. So what I was asking, nice everybody, to turn on your cameras and we can switch to gallery mode, comment for the technical team. So we can actually see all the faces and get a bit more familiar. We're going to be having 7 startups pitching today in a 5 + 5 minute format. So before we kick off the pitching part of the pitching stage, I would kindly ask the jury members to shortly introduce themselves and maybe set a bit, who is joining, what are your expectations, and what are you looking actually to hear from today's pitches. So yeah, I would actually open it up for the jury. We have 4 jury members today joining us, and maybe giving ladies first. Michelle, would you like to kick off and introduce to the audience? Just unmute yourself.
Thank you for that. That's always important. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Michelle Messina. I'm with Explora International based in Silicon Valley. And so coming to you kind of early in the morning, and I'm so excited to be here. I think this is going to be an interesting group of companies. I've already looked at most of their profiles. I'm happy to be here because, I have a personal interest in Serbia and hope to go back there after the pandemic one of these days. And I think that some of the things that I'm expecting some pretty darn good pitches this time around, because I think this process with the Balkans Demo Day just keeps getting better and better and better. And I think to your request in email, Pavle, one piece of advice that I would give founders is to trust your instincts. Go with what you know, go with what you feel when you're moving forward on developing your product and your product market fit. So I'm really happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Thank you for having you, Michelle, and joining us early in the morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you. Guys, who wants to go next? Thomas, Nicola, Marco.
Okay. Yeah. Hi, guys. Happy to be here again. My name is Marko Drombic. I'm portfolio manager in Hub Belgrade. Hope to see some fresh ideas today. Great presentations, and as always, guys, keep it short, simple, market focused, and try to have fun.
Thank you, Marco.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go for it, Nicola.
Okay. Hi, guys. I'm Nicola, CEO and co-founder of Joberty. Joberty is a workplace community for developers, and today it's my pleasure to be with you today. Why I'm here, my startup was part of Impact Hub Coho Group around, I think, 6 or 9 months ago. So for me, it's very interesting to be at the other side of the table right now. So I hope that I will meet today some new founders, startups, and to hear some great ideas. My advice for the founders, maybe first will be to launch fast and to learn fast. So first thing, and the second thing, according to today's pitch, maybe my advice will be to use every opportunity to pitch, because it will give them the confidence and help them to move one step closer to the investment. So they will learn a lot from every pitching session. So that's
amazing. Great advice, Nicola. Thank you so much. And I would say last but definitely not least, Thomas.
Thank you, Pavle. So I'm Thomas. I'm based in Zurich, Switzerland, and I'm currently partner and managing director at Brainforce Global. But formerly, I was the managing director of Impact Hub Zurich. That's our connection. And I'm very happy to join again, because 5 years ago, I was live with all of you at Impact Hub Belgrade, which was such a great experience. And I mean, I have a personal connection to the eastern part of Europe through my heritage. My parents are both from Hungary, so Hungarian is my mother tongue. And I just love to see the whole region thrive. And I'm always in awe what everybody of you can bootstrap. And what I expect, fantastic startups, and I looked already at the sheet and I'm very much looking forward to all the pitches. And my piece of advice really is go for your passion, because the money will follow. You can make money. It's more important to really find your passion and then just pull it through.
Amazing. Thank you, Thomas. Very happy to see you all in this virtual capacity at this moment. Hopefully we will be all back again together in physical. But maybe, moving to the pitches, and then I'm just going to repeat myself, and I'm usually, have the role of the timekeeper on these events. I'm not sure why, but we're going to have a 5 + 5 minute format. So 5 minutes for the start of pitching. In the end of the fifth minute, you're gonna be muted. So no extensions, no ending of the sentences. Very sharp to keep, a very kind of lean time. And also for the jury, you're going to have 5 minutes for Q&A. So in the fifth minute, you are going to be muted. So again, to be time friendly and honor the commitment that you had in the sense of time that you had for this event today. So without further ado, we have a certain order of startups that we plan to actually hear from today. Unfortunately, the first one, Miodrag, we don't see him in the Zoom room. So we're going to check in the background what's happening there. But I'm going to ask Marino to get ready, share your screen from Naomi. And once you're set up, just give us a thumbs up and we'll start a timer. And just while we're doing so, just to check with the jury, you all have access to the jury sheets. Yeah. See all thumbs up, perfect. You all then set and go, Marino. So whenever you are ready, just give us a mark and we'll start the counter. Yeah, sorry. And do unmute yourself. That's always important on virtual meetings.
Yeah, I was looking for the button. I found it now.
Amazing. So once you're ready, just say and we'll start.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. I'm ready. Hi, my name is we've built a mobile app that helps companies take care of their employees' mental health. There is a global problem where people are more than ever feeling anxious, stressed about their working from home, and also they're feeling anxious, depressed, and have trouble sleeping. And all this costs more than $6 trillion by 2030. Companies are aware about this issue, and they are trying to help their employees, but they're using legacy solutions like one-on-one meetings, seminars, gym memberships, that all have low engagement and are not fulfilling the purpose completely. This is why we've built Naomi, your personal mental health assistant. You choose a topic of your choice. It can be any type of field, like self-confidence, depression, anxiety,
Unmute it,
sleeping.
Marino, your internet is breaking.
Then gives you an appropriate cognitive behavioral technique that was developed by technique that lasts for a couple of minutes, and then you feel better, and hopefully the market is it better now? Maybe. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you a bit better now. Maybe close your video just to have a better usage of the broadband you have.
Oh, okay.
By the way, I completely missed the last couple of minutes. Yeah.
I can. Yeah. Anyways, the market is estimated to achieve $4 billion by 2027, and our market approach is bottom up, where we currently have 4 companies in the pipeline with around 3,000 employees, and our goal is to achieve 50,000 employees with 50 companies by 2024. Our competitive advantage is that we have an engaging mobile app with cognitive behavioral techniques that are scientifically proven. And also we're combining that with psychotherapy sessions, which is the only thing that competitors are doing at the moment. Our business model is the following. We have a free version of the app available currently on the Play stores. You can just type in Naomi mental health and download it for free. And we also have a premium version where you pay an annual subscription that unlocks all the content, where you can enjoy 100% of the content inside the app. In the first 2 weeks after launching 5 months ago, we achieved around 3,000 users and currently have 400 monthly active users for 3 months already. And we've earned around $600, but the monthly recurring revenue is around $112. And as I said, we have four proposals currently at the moment for companies for the B2B segment. This is our team. Sandra Kraljevic and Nikolina are our psychologists. Sandra being the CEO of the project, already with experience in business with their own companies, have more than 200 clients and contacts in Croatia and in the region. And I'm a medical student and also have previous startup experience and technical and design expertise. We are currently raising, by the end of this year, 500,000 euros for 18 months runway for product development, sales, and marketing that we will use to scale into the regional market and also start entering the USA market to achieve 50,000 premium users by the end of the runway. Our goal is to help companies take care of their most valuable asset, their employees' mental health. Thank you very much, and I'm waiting for the questions.
Pavle, you're muted.
Pavle, I can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry about it. So maybe because I was saying, Marina, because you have still a minute actually to the end of your time, maybe it would be
worth. I can repeat the beginning.
First couple of slides because we couldn't hear you.
Yeah, we were building a mobile app that helps companies take care of their employees' mental health. And the global problem is that people have depression, anxiety, even more than ever because of the situation currently in the world. They're working from home. They also feel depressed, have trouble sleeping. And all this will cost a lot of money in the future for companies and for the economy. And they are trying to solve this solution by using legacy solutions, one-on-one meetings with employees, seminars, gym memberships. But all this has low engagement. And this is why we've built Naomi. It's a digital assistant on your mobile phone, both for Android and iOS. It's a personal mental health assistant. You choose a topic of your choice, being depression, anxiety, or sleeping, or self-confidence. And then you solve a really quick cognitive behavioral technique that lasts for a couple of minutes. It's breathing exercises, conversations with the chatbot that understands what you're saying, or any other type of mini game. And then you feel better about your health. If this doesn't solve your problem, we connect you to a psychotherapist that then engages you online in a session. Yeah, I think Amazing. This is all.
Yeah, now. Thank you, Marino. And then jury, the floor is yours. 5 minutes starting now.
So Marina, this is Michelle Messina. I'm curious if your business model going forward is always going to be selling your app through employers, or do you anticipate that it also will be a B2C model?
Look, our goal is to do both. Our vision is to help people to help people get easy access to mental health and to help them with their mental issues. We are currently focusing mostly on B2E, business to employees. So yeah, we're going through companies, employers. It can be a benefit. It can be even through insurance. It can be like a private health insurance model through companies for employees. But we also have the app available on the stores. So you can download it, try it out. It serves us for the purposes of marketing, testing the app, and organic growth that can happen or not. But our main focus now is on B2E. Later on, we will branch probably and scale out in both directions. But I mean later on, in a couple of years.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
So, yes.
Thomas, you first.
Thank you. So thanks for your presentation, Marino. Two questions from my side. A, why the US as a second market? And B, what exactly are you going to do with the 500,000?
Yeah, I mean, the US is the second market primarily because we are currently located in Croatia. So the first market is the region, and then scaling regionally in the EU to achieve fast traction, to position ourselves strong in the market, to get our piece, our share that's going to be ours and only ours. But then further scaling will probably go in the United States because 50% of the money is there, and it's a big market. Not only that, but the issue is well recognized. All the biggest competitors are already operating there, and we're not afraid of the competition because our model is digital. We have an app. That's our main competitive advantage. That's easy to use, friendly, exciting. So after we get ready for it, our plan is to enter the USA market. This is why. And we will use the 500,000 euros for mainly product development, get salaries for our 3 developers, and the rest will be used for sales and marketing to get more companies on board.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hi. You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I have 2 questions. First, do you see app Calm as your competitor? This is the first question.
Yes.
And okay, you can answer it. Sorry.
Yeah, Calm is actually doing B2C primarily, but we saw that they're also doing B2E for teams, and also offering models for bigger companies, and also Headspace. Headspace for meditation. They recently joined and merged with Ginger, which was primarily focused on employees, but only for psychotherapy sessions. So these big players, meditation apps, are trying to enter this segment with their meditation aspect. But we're not only doing breathing exercises, meditation, cognitive behavioral techniques, that it's like conversations with a chatbot, diaries, setting your goals, educating yourself about any other psychological issues. So it's a more wider approach to the problem, not only meditation. So this is also where we see our advantage to Calm and Headspace.
Okay, thank you. And the second question, if I understand good, your app, if your app not solve the customer problem, you will connect customer with the psychotherapist. So
yeah.
My question will be, okay, if you want to scale, how you will scale the number of the active psychotherapists?
Yeah, I mean, this is always a challenge where we also see, companies sending emails to my co-founders to work for them. But yeah, we already have 20 psychologists in the app supporting English and Croatian language.
And we're out of time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marino.
Yeah. Thank you, Marino, for the pitch and for being the first one to break the ice. While I'll give a couple of more seconds for the jury to kind of wrap up the sheet and the scoring. Besim, Ivan, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, you ready? You can share the screen share slowly while the jury finishes up the sheets.
Sure. What's the name of the startup once again?
So we were listening to Naomi, and now the next one is Bisim.
Bisim, okay.
Can you give me a hint what I should do?
Yeah, we can hear you. Just share your screen with the presentation.
Okay.
We have the share screen option in Zoom.
Yeah.
Down, big green button.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm having issues with Zoom a little bit.
What does he say? Maybe we can help.
It doesn't allow me to share, so I'm not sure what I can do.
We'll just check. I think you are added as a co-host from our end. Yeah, so you should be able to share.
Okay.
It's on MacBook. Just reload the page, and probably the pop-up window will jump out, and then you can allow sharing or something like that.
Yeah.
The first time you have to change it in preferences or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We added you again as a co-host, so maybe try it now, just to be sure it's not that.
No.
Okay, Ivan, then we're gonna move to the next one, and I want to ask you, just maybe check your settings and preferences, and then go out and join again the call. We're gonna add you, and then we're gonna continue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that.
Thanks for the time. Not a problem.
All right.
Madpack, Patrick, are you ready? Lock and loaded. Jury finished up the score sheets from the previous one. Yeah. Amazing. So, Batic, do share your screen, and when you're ready, just hit us and we'll start the timer. And do unmute yourself.
I think we are going to have the same problem with me being muted when I share my screen, like last time we talked, like for the pitch. Let's try. I'll share my screen, and then if you cannot hear me, then I have no idea what to do.
Okay.
So
let's test it out. But unmute yourself. We can see you're muted at the time.
Yeah, that's what he's saying, is that as soon as he shares his screen, he becomes muted, and that's exactly what
as soon as I share my screen, it mutes me, and my button is super dark. So let's see.
What do you prefer? Sharing the slides or doing the voiceover?
So can I propose another thing? I mean, just try sharing again, and then the host should be able to unmute you.
Maybe, yeah, we can test it out.
For me, like when I share my screen, my microphone button becomes like dark gray, so I cannot like inactivate.
Yeah.
So
let's try like that.
That's
good input, Thomas.
Perfect. Thank you. Köszönöm.
Hát szívesen.
Yeah, see, let's see if it works. Yeah, you are unmuted now, but can we hear you? And no, we cannot hear you. Okay, this day is a Zoom challenge day.
Yeah,
so,
it's not our day. Let's maybe I can send you the link to my slide, and then you can share it while I talk.
Let's do it like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
How about you just put the link into the chat so we all can open it up?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the same for everyone, or for. Just let me know if it's open.
Yeah.
It had kind of a bit of animations to go through, so just to be good if someone would share the presentation.
You need to give us access.
Yeah, access. Just give me a second for that one.
Ovo je raspustnici, ovo je, znači, ja ne znam, palo da mu otvori.
You know, this is always fun because, you know,
It better be a good one, yeah.
So when we fail at everything else, we can do international tech support as a group.
Absolutely.
Actually, yeah, we should make a joint request to Zoom to change this stuff. So like,
Yeah.
we have a group of international testers here.
We'll crowdsource solutions.
Yeah, can someone press F5 and then we are like whoever is there.
Yeah, we can go like this.
Yeah.
I think it's safer.
Yeah.
So
okay, so let's try like this. Hello everyone. I'm yeah. So whoever is there needs to click because I added animation kind of to give the dynamics to the flow.
we're
So
clicking.
yeah. So hello everyone. My name is Batric. I'm representing the MedPack team. The problem we are solving with our product is forgetfulness or non-adherence in medication, prescribed medication intake. Obviously, all of you, I guess, forgot to take your medication at least one in your lifetime, but I guess you also don't think it's a big of a problem. However, click. The problem itself is, can we go to the next thingy? Actually, the numbers show that 30 to 50% of chronic disease treatment fail due to this problem. There is more than 100,000 deaths only in US each year caused by this problem, and the costs are measured in billions. Obviously, existing solutions are mostly adapted to caretakers and medical workers, and actually the doctors and insurance houses have no idea if the patients are taking their medication as they are supposed to. Next slide, please. Our solution is composed out of a smart pill box and an application. The application, apart from making your daily schedule, has the medication database for your market. So it knows how and when to take your medication, if the combination with any other medication that you're taking can be harmful for you. Also, it learns from your habits, so it adjusts the. Can someone mute on the other side? I hear a lot of background noise. Sorry. And the other part of the application is that it learns from the user's habits in a way that if you go to sleep, for example, at 11, it makes your last prescribed medication intake at 10:30. So it kind of adjusts the schedule according to your habits. The box itself has 6 to 8 modular departments that each contains only one type of medication. So the filling is really simple. You just put the box of pills and slip it in one of those departments. Each of the compartments has a light and sound signal that informs the user when and how to take the medication. And on the top, it has the rotating door that allows the user to open the box only above the department that is actually containing the medication that needs to be taken. Next slide. Or this thingy. So yeah, next slide. Our target group is young and middle-aged people who are taking prescription medication for whatever reason, starting from autoimmune diseases, epilepsy, depression, and other mental diseases, birth control, or it stayed in Serbian. So family planning. Yeah. Next one, please. Next slide. The existing market is quite big. So in the US, it's almost 700 million a year. EU market is estimated to 500 million a year, but most of the solutions focus on the elderly. So we kind of are targeting the niche that is really not on the radar of our competitors. Next slide, please. Our business model is simple: B2C, direct sales of the box to end users, free basic app, and premium version with reports to their caretakers or family members. B2B business model is sales to healthcare providers and insurance companies. We are going to charge monthly reports for them, and we are going also to have special offers for market insights depending on different aspects of needs of our end customers. Next slide, please. Our competition is, like I said, already existing. There is weekly and monthly planners that are quite expensive, MedMinder being one of them. Smart bottles that are worth like $50 a piece, and they contain only one medication. There is like R2D2 like the medication dispenser that you can put on your kitchen counter that are also quite expensive, and there is the monthly delivery services that are also quite expensive. So we believe that we have the right market fit price-wise. EliGrid and MemoBox are one of our main competitors, but we believe that our set of features gives us a bit of advantage over them. Next slide, please. Okay. We are in the really early phase, so we are established an idea less than almost six months ago. So we have a concept of the application already done, and we are working on the first version. We just got some funding for prototyping the box, and we are planning to have a working prototype by the end of the year. Next slide, please. So basically, in the timeline, we have the product app design, finishing, and launching the prototype. We also got some funding for the crowdfunding campaign, and we also need like 25K to finish the prototype and the app, and 75 to get all the equipment needed for the serial production of the box. Next slide, please. Our team is quite diverse. Anna and I are actually the ones who created the idea. Davor and Luka are my longtime friends, and we kind of have all the skills and needs that are needed to get this product to the next phase. And that should be the end. Perfect.
In a second. Amazing.
Yeah. Next slide, just to look. Yeah. Shoot.
Jury, floor is yours.
So first question, how much are you raising right now?
Actually, our idea is to try to raise around 100K, like I said in the previous slide, just to have the prototype ready. And the idea is to have the prototype and the serial production ready in case we have a successful crowdfunding campaign. So 100K is something that we are looking for at this stage. We are mostly looking to bootstrap after we have the serial production ready.
And production will be at Balkan or in China or something like that?
We are in preliminary communication with the firm in Bosnia that already has a factory that makes those traditional 4x7 medical boxes. So in the preliminary communication, they could be able to produce our boxes there. So preferably Balkans.
So I have a question about the age demographic that you've chosen to target initially. My father is 85 years old. He does take quite a few medications, but I'm definitely not taking anything. So, and my daughter's in her 20s. It doesn't. So how did you determine that you wanted to target a younger demographic rather than an older one that uses much more medication on a daily basis?
Yeah, definitely. So like the super small niche that we defined is kind of our target group because that's how we designed and approached the product design. The older people, let's call them that way, that market is already covered. Like for example, MedMinder is the biggest player on the market. It has around 3 million users. They charge $50 a month. So it's kind of already hard to get to that market. However, there is a small niche of people. Like I said, there is a lot of people with autoimmune diseases and fighting depression and other mental illnesses. Like the guys from Naomi said, a lot of people started taking different type of medication during COVID, either medication or supplements. So we believe that the target market is already it's like big enough to try going to the next phase. But however, like I said, end of the year is the crowdfunding campaign planned. So we will see. It will be kind of give us a right amount of information if our assessment is right.
So one question from me is, do you have anything that you can patent? Anything specific to your technology?
Part of acceleration programs that we are at is currently researching that. However, from the software side, we don't believe that there is anything patentable, except for from the hardware point of view, neither, except for the box design itself. So, but we will have that information in a 2 months period. For the time being, I don't think there is anything that could be patented because we try to be as simple as possible. Our way of keeping the let's say innovation is constantly improving the design. If
So
someone wants to copy us, they will definitely find a way.
So I have one more question. You're talking about doing a crowdfunding campaign and then launching the product in Q4 of 2022. That seems like a long time to actually launch the product. What else is happening over the next year?
Well, I was being pessimistic with the timeline, actually. So basically, we decided to bootstrap and do these pitches and competition in order to get to the prototype phase. However, any type of investment would definitely make that period way shorter.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome.
So one more question. I mean, looking at myself, do you also look at like people who are taking supplements, because that's a huge market also in that age gap bracket? I mean,
yeah, definitely. We didn't want to go too broad with the target group at this point, so we wanted to stay focused with people who are actually like, let's say, that have some life dependency on this one. Obviously, like I mentioned in one of the earlier questions, supplements is a huge market, and a lot of people are taking some sort of supplementation in their daily day-to-day life. So that's why we made it with this many compartments. So you can, let's say, take 3 medicines that you're taking and a couple of more supplements that you have. That's it. Pavle is waving to stop.
Yeah, and we're out of time. Thank you, Batrić.
Thank you, guys.
Jury. So Jury, giving you a few seconds to wrap up the comments. And just to check, Ivan, maybe we can again try the share. If not, we're going to share also your presentation from our end as well. But maybe we can give it one more try.
Let's try. I have joined via the app.
Perfect. It works now.
Okay, great.
So whenever you are ready, just give me a sign and we can kick it off.
Okay.
Just put it on full screen, the presentation. Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
All right. Just as an input to tech support, if you're starting the meeting from browser, it doesn't allow you to share, so you have to do it via app.
Good to know.
All right. So just let me know when I can start.
Yeah, whenever you are ready.
Okay, great. So hi everyone, my name is Dr. Ivan Markovic. I'm here to talk about the BizSim, which is the online business simulator. It saves you time and money by simulating profit for your digital product before you create any landing pages or buy website traffic. A little bit about myself. I'm a builder at heart. I love hackathons. So you see winning the Hacker of the Year at the TechCrunch Disrupt Hackathon and a bunch of other hackathons in the Silicon Valley Bay Area. So building things is really my passion, and hackathons are a great way to build things like really fast. Regarding businesses, I started first one in 2012. It's called Loyalster, and it was a fashion discovery engine for new and trendy items. It was sold in 2013. The next business I started was a social network for fitness junkies. And this one like integrated Fitbit, Jawbone, Nike Fuel Band, Apple Watch, and all these fitness trackers into a unified platform and provided challenges for you to compete with your friends and family. It was covered on TechCrunch as well, as you see here. Okay, next one was an iPhone app portfolio that we built with the current team. It contained a bunch of emoji and sticker apps for different dog breeds. If you remember 2017 and 18, that was the craze on the App Store. We sold it in 2018. And this was done with the current team that I'm working on the current project. And over the years, I got some interesting questions from friends and acquaintances about starting an online business. So if anything of this sounds familiar to you, let me know. If you ever spent 8 weeks creating an online course and after all blood, sweat, and tears earned a grand total of $20 at your course launch, or maybe you started acquiring Facebook users for your product with 6x ROI, thought you found an ATM, and then after investing all your dollars at scaling that campaign, you hit the plateau in 1 week and lose all your money. Maybe you spent all your savings, $5,000, on building an app just to learn that it can acquire users profitably. Or maybe you follow all the rules, found your niche, designed the product, built the sales funnel, promoted it, and nothing happened. No users, no revenue, crickets. So if anything sounds remotely familiar, then we have something for you, which is a BizSim. It's an online business simulator. It allows you to visually model your digital business and instantly see how much revenue and profit you can make off of it. So it works by adding your product and quickly drag and dropping your design to model your business, and then adding traffic sources and simulating the campaign flows for your business. You instantly get KPIs in real time while you simulate. You can start from scratch or use our business blueprint library with 30+ best practice models. You can do what if scenario analysis when you change a product price or a conversion rate on a web page, or you change the number of visitors you're expecting a month. You can instantly see how that reflects in your revenue and your profit. You can use it from any device and continue your sessions. It's really for any digital creator. It can be an online course, it can be an e-commerce product that can be modeled, it can be a SaaS product, it can be a coaching program, it can be a freelance service, it can be a product you're promoting as an influencer for a brand or any sort of digital marketer. We have a SaaS business model, standard monthly, annual payment plans, and an enterprise plan with multi-licensing deals.
And we're out of time.
Okay.
Sorry, Ivan.
Thank you.
I have to stop you there. Thank you. And then, yeah, jury, the floor is yours.
Hi, Ivan. Thank you for the great presentation and congrats for all the exits you made so far and for the team.
Thank you.
And one question regarding the previous slide, business model. So basically, you're talking about subscription model, and I believe you're aiming that these customers are going to stick to the app. Yeah. However, what's the incentive for the customer who is designing a business and paid for this analysis and already started a business to continue paying subscription in years to come or in months to come?
Well, you can. We have like really useful reports that you can run. So first of all, you can set up your model and then do the different simulations, try different prices, try different conversion rates, add traffic sources and see how that works. And in addition to that, we have a bunch of useful reports that you can generate. For example, a traffic reinvestment report that gives you all the details about if you spend money on acquiring traffic, how much ROAS you're getting, how much that can change in the months to come. We are actually having really good success with the reports with some of the online course creators that we're working with. They're spending more than $1,000 a day on Facebook ads to acquire their users. So they're having a really nice return on using our product to improve their campaigns and scale Facebook advertising for their business.
Yvonne, I have a question for you. You kind of ran out of time, but I'm trying to understand who you're targeting. You had listed a number of different profiles of consultants and things like that. So I'm unclear who you're targeting and how you're going to reach them.
Yeah, great question. So we started with the online course creators because I know that market the best. Basically, we started reaching out to all the big online educators today to offer them support with our solution. And this is what we plan to focus on in the foreseeable future because it's a very advertising-driven business. As I said, many spend in excess of $50,000 a month on advertising, and reports and support that we provide are great for such a business.
So does that mean that a Udemy or a Coursera or something like that is going to be your client, or this is going to be an add-on capability to educators who are creating courses to go on their platform?
Yeah, this would be an add-on. They could be a joint venture partner. We could basically jointly promote this solution to, for example, popular educators on Udemy or Lynda or any Coursera, any of these kind of platforms. This is how we see them. It's a complementary service.
So this would be the ROI calculator essentially for the course creator.
Yeah, it's really about if you, let's say you want to create a new course and then you want to, you can say it's going to cost $300. It's going to be 5% refund rate. I need like 30,000 visitors a day on it. And you can see like how the model behaves when you change the price, change the conversion rate. But as I said, you have like all these different reports that you can run on this model continuously, such as traffic reinvestment report, what if analysis, and so on, that continuously give you feedback, even if you have, let's say, a course that you're selling, but you still want to optimize it and get the best out of an existing, let's say, course funnel that you have. So it's both for starting a new, let's say, if you want to build a new online course, or if you want to optimize an existing online course funnel.
Okay.
And we're out of time. Sorry, guys, I have to stop you. Thank you, Ivan, for pitching.
Thank you.
Yeah, and while the jury is finishing up, just to check, Tamara, are you here with us? Baby FM?
Yes, I'm here.
Amazing. Hi. Hello.
Yeah,
you can surely share the screen.
Okay.
And get ready while the jury finishes up the.
I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, you can see it. Amazing. Just to check with the jury, are we ready?
Just set the timer also for me.
Yeah, I guess we can slowly start. Tamara, just say us when you're ready.
Okay, I'm ready. So hello everyone. Thank you for being here today. So we are a Baby, and I'm representing today a Baby FM team. We are founders, three founders who are basically in business of software engineering and neuroinformatics. Ivan Soldatovic is professor of biostatistics and medical informatics, and myself candidate in sensor technologies. And we are developing a system with the mission of confidently babies care. Actually, sorry. I cannot change the slide. I'm not so sure what's happening. Hello?
Maybe just try getting out of the full screen mode and just go slide by slide.
I'm trying to exit, but also, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Sorry for it. Let's try again. Okay, now it's working. So why Baby FM? Because I want to solve a lot of problems, basically parents facing it. So it's medical mistakes, which occurs in every 8 minutes in US. Baby skin irritation with existing devices, fear of uncontrolled situation, anxiety and low productivity next day when your baby has a fever during the night, and a sleepless night because parents lose 6 months in 24 months, basically when they got a baby. So we are providing precise and accurate monitoring with a large conductor surface with silver threads, which goes on baby skin, real-time monitoring of the baby body temperature, with graphics in the application, medicine tracking and notification, alerting, reporting, remote monitoring from several devices, and also a video and a chat with a pediatrician via our application. For now, we are focusing, right now we are focusing on Serbian market as a test market with approximately serviceable obtainable market with 10,000 units, which will result in 1.9 million euros. And next step will be European market and global market, especially US market, with the serviceable obtainable market with 100,000 sold units and actually 100,000 born babies per annum. Our competitors, there is several devices on the market. Basically, they're using gadgets and patches, which has unstable monitoring and also irritates the skin because patches are mostly glow patches, which irritates baby skin according to parents' complaints, which we've found. But also there is devices which monitors vital signs of baby condition. So there is several our advantages, like most convenient and precise monitoring of the temperature, reusable and washable our part of the device. Our device is also specially designed to avoid that errors from the baby movements. It's low energy consumption and it allows remote monitoring, as I mentioned before. Also global trends go with our mission, because 80% of millennials moms will be interested in wearable technologies for themselves and for the babies in the future. Here is our go-to-market strategy till 2025 with number of sold units and some added features in our device. And before I said something about our goals with what we reached before, since we are established the team and the company, I will explain you and show you how our system looks like, because the sensor do not irritate baby skin and goes in accelerative joint position, which is most precisely for the temperature monitoring. And our, I'm sorry, cannot change the slides, but I want to say that our team were a winner of Imagine If Cambridge competition in Serbia for healthcare startups, and we also are funded by Swiss government and Science Technology Park in Belgrade for development of our MVP. So I'm not sure how much time I get.
And we're out of time.
But
We're out of time.
the technical problems. That's mostly.
Okay. Thank you, Tamara. And maybe we can stop the screen share and go back to the panel. So yeah, jury, shoot for the questions.
I'll stop sharing because. Okay.
Tamara, how much? Hi. How much do you raising?
This time, 150,000 per development of our PCB, because we will, in that case, load the cost more than 70 or 80%. So we can be all fully subscription based. So basically, what is main difference comparing to the competitors is that silver threads, which can be woven into material and have the largest surface in contact with the baby skin, and small sensor, which could be also in some in different points. So the temperature will be continuously and stable monitored during the night or the whole day or additional period of the time. So basically, maybe if you didn't understand, application then is parents can set up the temperature and automatically it's set up for the temperature for alerting system. So maybe when temperature goes up to 38.5 degrees, it's alerting the parents. And also when you have remote device also connected to the system, you have double control. For example, one device with your parents and babysitter at the home, and you have also the same alerting and notification on your phone if you are at the job at that moment.
So how will you be selling the product? What is the distribution go-to-market strategy?
Yes, we have actually currently two distribution models. Since we are insisting on some medical touch, we are working now with hospitals and are performing our clinical studies. So clinics, hospitals are interesting to also implement this system and also to recommend via pediatrician to the parents to use this system at home. So we will have one circle when parents can manage the application by themselves and measure the temperature, export the score of temperature and medication graph during the certain period, sent to the pediatrician, and have a video and chat with pediatrician via our application. So it will goes with that system and also by pharmacy system like and drug areas.
And what will be the price point in the market? So if a parent needs to go to the pharmacy to buy it, what would they pay there?
We approximately estimated now on $9,900 for the device, but we are thinking just to be only subscription model. So they will get or to have two models, one for to buy that and pay per each consultation with the pediatrician, or to get fully subscription model from the hospital and get a device for the free. So
okay.
Options.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation and a really nice product. What are the hospital's reaction? What do they need to be able to use that at the hospital, or give somebody, tell somebody to use it?
Yeah, we already get the 3 recommendations, and we published one of them from Institute of Mother and Child. It's a child hospital, and for Tirshova, it's a second child hospital, and one for clinical center. They are considering it's really useful because if you're measuring it in hospital condition, they manually entering that table of temperature per each participants, and now they have it digitally already and get alerting when someone getting condition is worse or getting the temperature up. And controlling and error avoiding is one point, and also they can get in real time effect of the drug on each participant, because each
and we're out of time.
The study, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Tamara. Thank you, jury, for asking great questions. Maybe while we're wrapping up the comments from this pitch, Michael, are you here with us?
Hello.
Hello. We just added you as a co-host, so you'll be able to share the screen now. So you can share the presentation.
Yeah. Just a moment. So
just to check with the jury, how are we? The moment.
Can you see the screen, the presentation?
Yeah, we can see it.
Great.
Perfect. I guess jury
Should
ready?
I start? Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, you're ready. Yeah, you can start.
Okay, great. Thanks, Pavle. Yeah, hello and welcome. Thanks for the invitation to pitch here tonight. I'm Michael Schneider, the founder of Breakstuff. It's an AI-driven and blockchain-related one-stop shop for sports card investors and collectors, of course. Yeah, why I'm doing this? Because I'm very passionate about sports card collecting since almost the 90s, I would say. And coming back to the hobby in the last few years, I saw a lot of problems popping up in the industry and in the community. For example, you have high subscription fees in different app solutions or transaction fees on marketplaces. You have long turnaround times at the grading companies, and no innovative digital services like we want to offer when it comes to valuation and grading of cards. Yeah, and no one-stop shop approach, as I mentioned, we want to provide in the future. So that was too far. So what about the market? The market is a niche market, but it's a huge and growing one, especially when it comes to for almost $14 billion worth at the moment and growing. You can see at the numbers, for example, eBay sells 130 cards per minute, trading cards per minute on the marketplace. PSA, the market leader of grading, grades 35K cards per day. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the industry right now. You see it. It's not only a personal hobby of some people that are interested in sports, it's also an investment case. COVID accelerated this process. Now collectibles are an alternative asset class. You can see that, for example, the market leader of grading, PSA, got bought by over $800 million. And you have sales records all over the place for single sports cards. For example, vintage baseball card, Honus Wagner card sold recently for $6.6 million. So you can see it's a real and valuable alternative asset class. The consumer is mostly in the US, male, 30 plus years, but also there's a youth movement coming into the hobby. Our business case is B2C and B2B. First of all, we want to offer a social network, which should be provided for free in the app. Then we offer the AI grading based on subscription fees and, of course, a marketplace with transaction fees. And beside that, we also want to offer and tackle the B2B segment and offer there also products, especially when it comes to grading and based on revenue share deals. Yeah. The MVP in general will be globally launched as a mobile app for Android and iPhone. As I mentioned, focus is on sports. And the next step will be also integrating a new next version of the marketplace with blockchain and NFTs, thinking about B2B solutions as well through our API and integrating, for example, Pokemon or Magic, other trading card sections. So what about the game changer? I mentioned the AI grading before and also blockchain. That's definitely our core feature in the app. The AI grading will make it possible to instantly grade sports cards and give a grading note to the consumer. It will be based on visual inspection, which tells, okay, that's a good condition. It's good centering. There is no scratches on the surface and stuff like that. And of course, this can increase the value of cards immensely. Yeah, the user can use it, the label then on flipping in the marketplace, or just as a objective decision-making process, if the card should be physically graded or not. And then I mentioned, of course, blockchain. We want to offer as a next step on the marketplace also unique NFTs. So the competition, I would say there is no one-stop shop approach. As I mentioned, there are some specific solutions out there, of course, marketplaces, grading companies, but most of them could also be possible partners. eBay recently reached out to us that they find it very interesting what we are building. So yeah, we are trying to make competitors to partners in the future. There is some little forecast which describes what we are targeting in the next 5 years. You see up to 6 million on EBITDA. That's the goal, definitely. Here's the short timeline. I mentioned I came back to the hobby a few years ago. It was 2018. Since then, there was a long finding process of the right product market fit and the right team members. Now I'm happy that we have the right team on board, the right CTO from Belgrade, Dragan. I will show him later. And we also got the first pre-seed investment of Phil Rouge Capital this year.
And we're out of time.
Okay, we will have the prototype ready very soon.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Jury, feel free to jump in.
So thanks, Michael. So what is your investment need that you're asking for right now after having a seed investment?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a pre-seed investment of Phil Rouge Capital that was 50K. We are now at the end of the development process, which means yeah, we are trying to finalize the prototype, and of course it would help us to raise additional 150K. I would say would be best case scenario for us. Also with in mind that we are targeting the US market, which means we have to incorporate there as well and target the customers there. So it will be necessary to have a company there over as well in the future. But first of all, most of the money will be invested in the product and hiring more people. Yeah, especially when it comes to product development and of course user and marketing support. Yeah. But I would say 150K is best case. We can also talk about smaller tickets. If it's smart money, I would say it's different. Yeah, I would say 50 to 150K, depending on the deal, would help us immediately, of course, at this stage.
Michael, how you plan to acquire users? What is your go-to-market strategy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have done, I would say, a little homework already. We have built up a brand. We have built up social media channels with over 15K followers. So we can use this in the first place to roll out our product. We have also an app waiting list online at tradingcards.ai. You can sign up there. You can also use this. So we have a few thousand people already in the pipeline to roll out the first version of the prototype, get their feedback, do some bug fixing before we launch it in the stores. And after that, of course, we will focus on content marketing, influencer marketing, and also, yeah, trying to appear in Google and try to make some ad campaigns over there. But the focus is definitely on content marketing and influencer marketing, yeah, in first place.
So, Michael, what's the story behind the company name Break Stuff?
Mm-hmm. Yes, thanks for the question. Yeah, good question. Breaking in the community means opening boxes of cards. That's the meaning of breaking. Yeah, and it's also becoming very popular because boxes and cards in general, the prices have increased recently, and people cannot afford to buy boxes by themselves because they have been getting so expensive. And then breakers come into the place. They buy boxes and they split boxes into the teams. And when you say, okay, it's too expensive, I just want to buy this team, you have to pay a limited price, I would say, and you can have only these cards. When the breaker opens the box, you get only the cards of this team, of this specific team. So it's becoming more affordable. And yeah, that's, I would say, the story behind the name. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
And Michael, what is your background?
Yeah, I would say my background is I'm a serial entrepreneur. This will be my third company incorporation. Yeah, I had first company was an event agency, which I sold successfully to my partners, and the second one was a classical startup based in Austria. It was a comparison platform for craftsman services like moving companies, locksmith, etc. As a complete other business, but I also sold it this year successfully. So 2 exits. The third is also very seems also very interesting in an interesting industry, but it's a complete other story for me because I'm very passionate, as I mentioned at the beginning, about sports cards. So I love every day working on this project and providing hopefully a very valuable solution very soon. But it seems and it's that it's very interesting for the community in general, as eBay, I mentioned, also reached out to us as well. And of course, we have talked with some manufacturers like Panini, etc. So of course, it's possible to have.
And we're out of time
as well, but it's not forced to. I'm not forcing it. Yeah, thanks.
Sorry for stopping you, Michael. Thank you. Thank you, jury. And while the jury wrap up the numbers and the feedback from this pitch, we're moving to the last, but definitely not the least. So my dialogue app. So I know Zoran will be pitching together with a colleague. So
with
Zoran,
Ilana, yeah, I'll be sharing. Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I will be sharing screen, and you can also unmute Ilana if she cannot unmute herself.
Oh, I'm unmuted.
Okay. So can I share my screen now?
Yeah, please do.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, give me a second. Okay, so hi there, we are My Dialogue, and we believe that language learning should be culturally immersive, engaging, and affordable experience. We created controlled and safe language learning platform that provides this. Students wanting to learn a language are connected with native speakers and start interactive guided language learning course. Thanks to our language learning process, any native speaker can become a tutor. My name is Zoran. I'm co-founder and CTO of My Dialogue, and with me today is Ilana, my co-founder and CEO. We have a well-rounded team with members of different backgrounds and lots of experience in startups with previous exits. And at the moment, we are working also with multiple talented contractors part-time who we want to add full-time once we secure full funding. So why build another language learning tool? There are many already available, but we figured out that all of them are suffering at least from one of 2 problems. First is methodology. Most of them are focusing on vocabulary and are not really culturally immersive. User cannot practice their speaking, they engage in rote learning, and that way you just cannot build fluency. On the other hand, you have traveling for cultural immersion as an alternative, or working with professional tutor, but that is quite expensive and not accessible to a lot of people. So My Dialogue created platform to solve for these issues. First, on the side of supply, by the way, there are about 1.5 billion of the English language learners alone in the world, according to British Council. So this is huge market. And thanks to our content guidance and methodology, we are able to utilize native speakers as tutors. And that way we have practically unlimited supply of tutors. At the same time, because we are not using professionals, we can offer more affordable pricing. All that, of course, without sacrificing the quality, because of our comprehensive language learning method that we are going to cover here more. So we are organizing our learning into learning sessions. We have a broad range of topics and different difficulties, and new content is added weekly. Each of our sessions is having all of the elements of the language learning, starting with vocabulary, and then most important, conversation, but then also writing, reading, and in the end, we have reminders that are being sent using scientifically proven spaced repetition methodology to consolidate the learning. I apologize. So we believe our proposal to tutor is very strong: earn money by having interesting conversation, which is much better than deliver pizza in the rain to learn the extra money. You can think of us in a way as an Uber for language learning. You can see here some of the screenshots of the current version of the application that is going through huge update based on our user testing. Most important, last screen is showing what we call conversation aids. And you can think of it as a cheat sheet to guarantee the smooth conversation. I'm handing over now to Ilana to talk about marketplace and competition.
So where do we situate ourselves in the marketplace? Well, in comparison to our direct competitors, one thing that we have that they don't is we include a comprehensive course which includes all elements of language learning. We don't just provide conversation, but we provide the course, which makes us less dependent on the tutor and helps us to guarantee learning outcomes. There are two market segments that we target. The first is the mass market, starting with English and moving to other languages, and the next is business market, creating specific courses for employees in specific fields. So why invest now? COVID-19 has not only made travel difficult to learn a language in an immersive manner, but it's also really created a boom in online learning, and this is here to stay. Okay, so when investing in any company, there is of course many risks. We've identified the biggest risk is that a company with significant resources creates the same app, but a barrier to this is the sessions that we put on the app, and by the time we want to launch, we will have a year's worth of sessions, which will act as a significant barrier. So where are we now? We have a current working MVP, and we're about to update it based on the experience that we've had, and we have both tutors and students signing up for the service, and we're currently fundraising. By year 2, we plan to be profitable, and our break-even point is about 2,000 students, and that is with a, we imagine that with these 2,000, every student will be paying $12 a session, but that's only including pay-as-you-go sessions. There'll also be the option to subscribe, which will guarantee a revenue stream, not only for my dialogue, but for the tutors, and will help learners plan their learning. By year 5, we plan to be ready for a sale, and we could be selling to a company which provides kind of a downstream service like Duolingo, which provides the basic language learning, because we take that to another level, or we can be sold to, we can be brought by one of our competitors. And thank you so much for your time.
You had actually 5 seconds to spare.
Let's use it wisely.
Yeah, jury, floor is yours.
So I'm interested in customer acquisition strategy. What is the plan?
We started with Google Ads, and it was proven to be really inexpensive to get signups for both tutors and students based on our current ads, and that is still unoptimized and early. We paid like a couple of bucks to acquire a tutor and like $2 or $3 to acquire a student. So we'll start with there. Definitely, there is also we are starting to reach out to universities to offer discount for students to join our program. So we'll take a less fee. Our usual fee is 20% on the tutor-student transaction, but we are planning to offer to get some faculties, universities on board and offer them discounted fee.
Okay, thanks.
So Thanks for your presentation and very interesting product and platform. So how do you onboard tutors and make sure that they do what you want them to do?
Well, firstly, onboard tutors can sign up, and obviously okay. So in order to present themselves and sell themselves, they're going to have to put a video out there. So that will kind of prove that they're English, or, you know, not that they're English, that they have to be a native English speaker. And in order to ensure safety for the student, because obviously we need to ensure that, all sessions will be recorded for the student, not for this tutor. So if the tutor acts inappropriately, the student can send the video session to us and the payment will not go through, and we can review the session. Sorry, we can review the video. In additionally, they'll obviously have ratings, and if there's consistently bad ratings, then I suppose like survival of the fittest, people are not going to use them.
Okay, thank you.
At the end, you said you already raised 83,000 out of 200, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, about 80K out of 200.
Commitment for someone, and you are searching for the rest of the money, or you already raised that amount and you were searching for another round?
Yeah, we raised actually that money, and we are continuing. We paused a little bit of our fundraising to form the team, which we did right now, and to update the app and continue with user acquisition. So yes, we are actively fundraising from this moment on.
So what you plan?
Most of that money will be used for marketing, and of course for team salaries.
And what's the plan with the marketing? So in the next 6 months or in a year, yeah. In terms of starting revenue, users, teachers, etc.
Yes, we'll focus first. We'll put some constraints in the beginning. Start with just English and start with tutors acquisition just in UK, and acquire students from the region of Middle East and North Africa because of the lowest difference in time zone. And then we'll start with paid ads in those two markets. Okay. And then in addition to that, we'll try with acquisition through universities by offering some discount for language learning. So this is the beginning.
And I would just like to point out that the fact that Zoran said students in North Africa and like that kind of area is because the ads are much cheaper in that area and compared to Europe. So it's quite good use of like more economical.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. One more question. Some ordinary question for the marketplaces. So how you want to solve the chicken and egg problem? Because you are two-sided, yeah.
We are putting constraint in first geography and also the breadth of what we are offering, and we are starting with supply side by adding tutors first. And but actually, students are signing up on themselves without even running some ads. So it's a huge market. There's a lot of interest, and at least first signals are really good.
And we're out of time. So again, on the spot. Thank you guys. I would ask everyone now to just kind of turn on their cameras. If you haven't already, we can switch to the gallery mode so we can do a very quick screenshot of the people present before we move to the next part. So do please, people, turn on your cameras. We want to see your faces. And people joining in. Amazing. So we can smile for the camera, the virtual one. Amazing. So now moving on to the next part, Jury, you have received an email in the past 15 minutes from Nenad calling you to the jury wrap-up meeting. So do join that link, and we'll be having you here back in 20 to 30 minutes when you cast your vote. And for the entrepreneurs, do stick with us. Bojan is joining us from Tomapo. And our idea was to have a founder-to-founder conversation. So we prepared a couple of questions for Bojan, but also there is an open floor invitation for everybody else to kind of pitch in with the questions and kind of share the experience. So Bojan, welcome. Nice to see you again. Can you hear us? Yeah.
Hi. Yeah, hello. I can hear you, and I hope you can hear me too.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I guess you do.
Fine.
Okay, good.
Perfect. Thank you. Maybe a short introduction from your end. Who is Bojan and what is Tomapo and what are you guys doing?
Okay. So hi, I'm Bojan from Tomapo, as you know by now. So Tomapo is a personal gardening assistant. It's for hobby gardeners, so people who love to grow their own vegetables, and we want to help them along the way from garden planning, let's say in the winter, when you start thinking about what you will be doing, and then and for this we made a web-based garden planner, and then we follow and give advice along the way during the season with a mobile application, so you have all the information that you need with you in the garden when you need it, and so on. Basically, that's the idea, and we are also working on the, let's say, B2B segment to help specialized garden centers reach out to younger gardeners who don't know about any other stores than the big ones and so on. So this is in short.
In short, and maybe reflecting on where are you at traction-wise, just to kind of put you in a map. How many users do you have? How many people are using the platform?
We have currently around 60 or 70,000 registered users in Europe, but mostly Slovenia and Italy. These are the two markets that we are focusing on, and we have, let's say, 5 to 10 business partners with whom we are experimenting and trying to find out the best way how we can help businesses in the sector. So we are at an early stage when it comes to B2B, but we have been around for quite some time now when it comes to customers, and they're kind of happy with the application, with what we have for them. At least based on the feedback on Google Play and the comments that we get.
That are very valuable, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Although we have a lot of ideas what we could also do, but yeah, I think it's best to focus on the business model now and then move on to the fancy and crazy ideas that we have for gardeners.
Amazing. And then because a lot of questions from the jury and during the pitches were asked on the customer acquisition and actually penetrating the market. Can you maybe share, because you have 70,000 active users currently on the platform, what were maybe some, I would say, big milestones or, points that you would like to share with other founders that you had along the way of acquiring that amount of users so far?
Okay, so maybe let's start at the very beginning, which was quite a long time ago. It all started in 2013 as me and the colleague wanted to go on a startup weekend event, and we needed to come up with an idea of what to do. And I thought about my father, who is a keen gardener, and we said, okay, let's digitize the way he goes about gardening, so garden planning and taking notes and so on. And on that weekend, we found out by making a landing page that actually it's not only my father who's doing it this way, but that this way is appreciated. And so we started gaining some signups. So for the first half year, we didn't have an application. We were just getting people to sign up for the application. And then when we released, it started growing more or less organically on Google Play. So still today, the most people that we get is by organic search on Google Play. But we have been experimenting with Google Ads, with Facebook Ads. But actually organic growth is the best so far. What has also been really useful is media coverage. At least in Italy, we got covered by the national television, some big shows, and you can really see the spikes when you get featured by let's say national television in such a big country. And maybe the last thing what we are trying to do is the collaboration with garden centers, so that we would be acquiring new users by being exposed in a garden center, and then on the other hand, when the users are at home, we would be exposing the garden center through the application to the users. So it's a collaboration between, let's say, the digital and the analog world of gardening.
Amazing. And did you connect especially because the Google plays important role. The Google Play plays important role in your kind of organic growth. Did you plan some campaigns of motivating people to leave comments, leave ratings, stuff like that?
Yeah. Okay. I think this is something I forgot to mention. Within the application, we early on we got we have these prompts that ask people to leave a review, to cast a vote, and I think this is also one of the reasons that we are among the highest rated gardening application on Google Play. We have around 2,000 and something votes, and 4.5 I think is the average. So yeah, we are actively reaching out to users within the application, also in the mailings, and we really work hard when people write to us with anything. We really try to get back to them to get as much information from them as possible. So I think this pays off because you get into the head of the user and you know what they would like to hear, and also in the copy of the page and the application, then you actually use the words they used when contacting you. So yeah, being in touch with the users is really helpful and also rewarding when they because they love the hobby of gardening, and then you get some of this love back from them, and it's really nice. And okay, on the more technical side, we spent some time on App Store optimization, so pinpointing the images, the copy, and everything, so that we get more hits from people searching for anything related to gardening on Google Play.
Maybe a short stop here. Like I have a bunch of questions to ask you, and it's always fun to learn more about your startup. Also, invitation for others. I see Marino raised hand, so Marino, go for it.
Hi, can you please give us more details on App Store optimization that you did, and maybe because I know that this is key factor for organic growth, right? What did you do exactly? And also, when you get users, what challenges did you have with stickiness and retention? What did you do to fix it?
Okay, so if I understood correctly, it was, let's say, two questions. The first one about App Store optimization, and the second one about retention of the users. Okay. So regarding App Store optimization, I have to say regarding this, we relied a lot on help from advisors that were given to us by the Slovenian, let's say, startup ecosystem. So we worked with Red Orbit, which is an agency in Slovenia, and at the same time with Maja Voje, a mentor here, and they guided us along the way of putting everything into place. But it was mostly about, let's say, the steps that I recall from the top of my head were to, let's say, look at the competing applications, and then using tools that I don't remember the names now. I think AppTweak was one of them. But basically, you have tools that you can check the keywords that the competition is using, and you can see how they rank for different keywords and so on. And then you try to work around that to include those keywords, or maybe find some keywords that the competition didn't use. So you come up for that one. And I remember that one of the advices we get from some page about App Store optimization was also in using emojis, but that became problematic because Google Play didn't like it, so we had to remove quite some of them. So not everything that you read and you read online actually works. And so it's a process. You try something, and then you see how it works out, and then you change something else. But maybe to get back to the reviews, I think that is also a big part of what you should take care to have people leaving reviews, and to also something that we that we try to do is that we always answer the reviews that we get, so that there should not be any review about Tomapo that is not answered, at least with a thank you message or something like that. So something else about App Store optimization. I don't remember now anything else, but yeah. And about retention, yeah, for Tomapo is, let's say, retention or active users are in a way problematic because we have a lot of active users in the spring and in summer, and then because the gardening season is over, there's nobody active anymore, or only the, let's say, hardcore gardeners are active also in autumn and winter. So we are trying to, let's say, stimulate them with the notifications. Each month we send out a notification about what they can do in this month on the garden. Because of this seasonality, we try to exploit that, and so that we are on top of their minds. Then we have the garden planner that you use, let's say, once at the beginning of the season. And then from that, we know when they will be planting tomatoes, cucumbers, and so on. And we have reminders about that. Then we are working with the B2B partners so that they have the possibility also to send notifications about the events or discounts and interesting stuff that's going on in garden centers. And that's it, basically. We are happy to see users that use the application, let's say, once a week or something like that, because it's not something that you would be using 5 times a day. It's not an application to listen to music or something like that.
And maybe just building up on that question, Bojan. So what actually was your biggest challenge in kind of, looking at the seasonality of it? But from what I understood, actually you have a loyal core of customers coming back, when the season starts over, and kind of you see them kind of coming back there. What were your thoughts on actually kind of optimizing that in a best possible way? So building up that loyalty towards the app, besides maybe the tips and tricks, but maybe like also some failures. It would be interesting that, things that you tested but didn't work down the line and might be useful for someone like line of thought.
Okay, to be honest, the biggest issue that we have and we are trying to find out is still the one of the business model. Because, okay, 60,000-70,000 users, that might sound a lot, but actually to make a business model work when it comes to mobile applications, you should have users in the range of millions, and we do not have that at the moment. Also, one of the problems is also the not only the seasonality of gardening, but also the regionality. So let's say we are kind of fluent in English, but still I'm not comfortable using a gardening application that's written in English, because the names of the vegetables and the terms used are not so well known, and so we are trying to do this country by country. So translating the application, that's one thing, but the other thing is also to adapt all the data to the climate of the region, because at the beginning when we started, we've seen some competing applications that were telling us to grow bananas in Slovenia, and you cannot do that. I mean, it's pointless. So this is let's say a challenge when it comes to user growth. But yeah, business. So you need a lot of users to make a business model connected to a mobile application work. And we, at some point in time, we said that, okay, the application that we have, although we have still a million ideas what to do with it and how to develop it further, but given the rates on Google Play and the feedback from the users, we can say that the application is good enough, so to speak. And we are focusing on the business, the B2B part, and how to make how to be useful for companies, for garden centers, gardening brands. And in the last year or two, we are getting some positive feedback also in this segment. But it's let's say it's a struggle because gardening it's a segment that is not, let's say, digitized as other sectors, and so it's a little bit lagging when it comes to digital marketing and this kind of stuff. So getting somebody on the other side of the table that actually understands what it means to do some digital advertising and working with mobile applications and so on, it's difficult, and we are happy when we find somebody that gets this, and then we can work closely with them to also develop new features. But this is rarely the case. I mean, usually it's not so easy.
Yeah, need to educate that part of the market.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Ivan, you had a question.
Yeah, I was wondering if you know how much does it cost for you to get a user?
When we did some experimenting on Facebook and Google, I think it was 80 cents to get a user to register, to download and register the app. Yeah, that was it at the time. But until we find the business model that works 100%, it doesn't make sense, let's say, to pour money in the application and get a lot of users.
And how what percentage of those users become a subscription user?
So in the last year, I think it was 2.2% of the users became pro users, and but the subscription is 18 euros per year. So the most money at the moment we are making from B2B partnerships. So companies producing, I don't know, gardening hose, chains of garden centers, companies like that need presence and awareness within a really niche user base.
Mm-hmm. And have you tested by any chance to make the app paid so that, let's say, charge $5 to get the app?
Okay, yeah, this is a trade-off that we're making with the app. Most of the app is free, and you have some additional features for those 18 euros per year. Because what we are afraid of is that if we lock the application completely, then we would not have enough users to make any sense for the B2B segment to advertise. But yeah, it is something that we thought about. We are now working with the research institute here in Slovenia on an algorithm for optimization of garden planning. So when that will be finished, it will be really something, let's say, amazing from a technical perspective, and also the added value of that. And that, I think, it would be offered as a one-time purchase or something like that. Mm-hmm. And we hope that that would be something that will make a big impact on our B2C revenues.
Yeah, that's great. As a newbie, it seems to me like, for example, I would buy like a detailed manual on how to grow a specific crop, let's say, like like a 20-page. Mm-hmm. This is how you grow like rye, right? So I don't know if you have anything like that in the app right now.
I mean, what we did is to condense the knowledge of a few books into short and easy to digest info pages about 60 of the most popular vegetables, and that's it for now. I think what you're suggesting is, let's say, to go into the other direction, so to really go in depth about about some of the vegetables, which would also be an idea. We are now also thinking about using knowledge graphs to extract knowledge from the web about gardening and vegetables. And at that point, when this work will be finished, we will be able to offer something like you mentioned. But we see ourselves as not so much as provider of content, but more as providers of ICT tools that can deliver some content that is not necessarily generated by us, because there's plenty of websites with gardening content, but we cannot compete when it comes to generating content with them, because I have an ICT background, and let's say the team is more strong on the ICT part than on domain knowledge. But we can present the knowledge that is already available in more concise, more usable ways to our users.
Okay, thanks.
See, Batrić, you also had a question?
Yeah, thanks.
And
you're muted now.
Okay. Hi again. So as much as I could see, you're focusing on vegetables. Are you planning of expanding to fruits or houseplants or stuff like that? And second one, are you gathering any information about, let's say, popularity of sorts in Slovenia? So, for example, 20% of our users are growing potatoes, and this sort of potato is the most popular among them. And do you use that in some way?
Yeah. So the first one, extending to fruits, is something that we get asked quite a few times. We actually we are working with a garden center that's dedicated on fruits, on trees. So they are preparing some content to be included in the application. And yes, there are plenty of ideas how to expand. We were also debating about using augmented reality to, let's say, use the smartphone so that you take a video of the fruit, and then it tells you where to cut the fruit, how to prune it, and so on. But these are all ideas that we have and that we will be able to work on later on when we are able to expand the team and so on. So we are focusing on for now on vegetables and on the B2B segment. And regarding the second question about data, yes, we gather data about because we have the plan of the garden. We know how much square meters of lettuce and potatoes and tomatoes are being grown in Slovenia. We also talked with the Agricultural Institute here in Slovenia. They are the ones that are giving data back to the Eurostat about what's being grown, and we will do a comparison about a comparison of their method of giving statistics and the statistics that we can provide by having those thousands and thousands of users planning their gardens.
Yeah, so and do your B2B users use the data to plan their stock, for example? Like, okay, we see this many users planning to grow cucumbers, so you could stock up on that one.
That's the idea, but as I said before, it's this is a little bit science fiction for let's say small garden centers. So yeah, we are going in that direction, and this is also one of the, let's say, taglines, that we have data about gardeners that we can, let's say, share with B2B partners or use it to help them optimize advertising or customer engagement. Also planning, although they say that they know what to buy, how to stock, because they've been doing this for years and years, although they also get surprised from time to time. But yeah, the idea is to use this data. And also for research, we are part of a few European research projects where we are trying to use this data also for research purposes. For example, we are now gathering through our users samples of beans, and this will be analyzed for nutritional value. to see, let's say, the difference between different species of beans, but also among regions in Slovenia, and also to compare with what you can buy in the store, what you grow in your garden. So yeah, we like these kind of questions and ideas, and we also work on that.
Amazing one. And maybe additional question from my end. And speaking about the pivots and changes, and you were here in the I would say app and platform, working on it for quite some time. What would you do different? Of course, having the after knowledge and having this perspective now, but maybe highlighting a couple of important points that might be relevant for other founders while approaching and tackling their markets and challenges and problems and whatnot.
Maybe one of the things that if I would go back and change is to be more focused on one single thing. Although many people told us, and specifically to me, that you cannot work on the 1,000 different things, I kept doing that, and also the application. I mean, what I described is that we have a planner and a mobile application, but then there's a IoT garden sensor. We have a family meal planning functionality, and other ideas that we were developing along the way. There's a seed exchange platform, so really a lot of stuff, and there's only a few of us working on them. So you really have to be careful about the things that you do, and maybe also the things that you don't do, and select a few important ones to work on, and also in choosing partners. And I'm talking about partners, about the team of founders, and that the team that's working, to carefully choose people that you can work with and that actually can bring value to the team. But also when you're choosing business partners, you can really spend a lot of time and energy on a partner that you think might be useful to you because of their size, position, whatever. But if they are not cooperative and don't share the same vision of what you can do with them and for them, then it's kind of a waste of time. That is, let's say, at the moment, the things that we mostly regret.
Amazing. And here one more, a lot of questions were, in regards to the product market fit and actually figuring out, do you have a solid thing going on? And as you said, you're still kind of trying to figure out the model behind that and the business model behind it. But what was the moment when you actually had, because you said, your dad was working as a gardener and you got inspiration there, but what was the breaking when you said, oh, there are actually many other people that might be actually using this, and this is a sort of a pattern, let's build up upon that. What was the, I would say, critical amount or critical number that you said, okay, now we have something going on, so let's explore it further?
Maybe for me it was, I remember a moment when I was in a hotel room in I don't know where, somewhere in Europe, on a European on a meeting of a European research project or something like that, and we started with the landing page to get new signups, and I was getting emails and people signing up, and there was more and more of them, and also with some comments. I think we had a survey. They had the possibility to sign up and also to tell us something about why they garden and so on. And it was that moment, getting those feedbacks of how they wanted this kind of application for a long time, and so on and so on. That was really refreshing and rewarding, because I was used to publishing scientific articles, and there the cycle is that within a few months you get some kind of feedback. But with Tomapo we had a lot of feedback quickly, and that was I kind of fell in love with this. Yeah.
Amazing. We have time for one more question, and Batrić, I will give it to you.
Yeah, thank you. us Montenegrins are very like forceful on asking questions, obviously. So I saw your blog page, and it's quite modest. Have you considered maybe putting some of the app content there that would kind of make more people actually download the app? I mean, modest in the sense that I saw maybe 10 posts.
Which one is that? The English one?
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, okay. The Slovenian and the Italian ones are a little bit better, much better, I guess. So yeah, we did in Slovenia and Italy, we poured out the contents of the application, and also we did blogs about the sewing calendar and so on and so on. So we used this as a way of promoting ourselves and getting people to reach out to us. Yeah, as I said, we are not focusing on English, on the English market or English speaking.
Amazing. Well, and thank you so much for your time and joining us today and sharing a part of your story. And I can say definitely it was helpful, based also on the questions and reactions. So thank you once again. And
thanks for listening, and thanks for the questions. Yeah, it was lovely.
Thank you. And I can see Michelle has joined us as a jury representative. So we can maybe switch to the gallery view. And Michelle, did you have a hard time as a jury picking up the best and most promising?
So there was a huge battle behind the scenes to come up with, what was the best pitch and what is the most promising company. It was a tough decision. We felt that all the presentations were really good, and the teams did a great job in presenting their business idea and their concepts. So it was a hard agreement. It's hard to agree, but the first one for the best presentation is the company called My Dialogue, which is the app that transforms language learning. So congratulations to the team, to Soran and Dana for doing that. You had good time management of your presentation. You had good coordination between the two of you. There was a really good, solid storyline in the presentation. One of the judges said there was just way too much detail, and the other one said it was the perfect level of detail. So this is the situation with judges. But so congratulations to My Dialogue for a really great presentation. And the team that most of the judges, actually all the judges agreed upon with respect to the most promising company is BizSim. So congratulations to Yvonne for that. The feedback there was that it's a really interesting opportunity that you're attempting in the marketplace. And we hope that you're successful there. The fact that you started off, showcasing in your presentation some of the prior experience as a serial entrepreneur certainly raises the credibility of you as an individual to be able to take this to market. So that was really impressive. So good job on the company that's most promising. There was a couple of comments about some of the other companies. Baby FM, really think you have some phenomenal technology, it seems like, and really strong technical team. We might suggest that you consider how you can extend or expand your expertise in sales, marketing, business development, and external market-facing staff or team member to balance out the technical expertise that you have there. With Break Stuff, so Michael, seems like you're tapping into a really huge market, but the judges felt that it was the pace at which you're going seems slow. And I'm not sure exactly if I can give you any specific indicators on that, but we all felt that that's a huge market today. It's growing very, very fast, as you said, during the pandemic, but we'd like to see a little bit more acceleration in your business activities and your milestones and things like that. And then I think lastly would be feedback for Naomi, that you're jumping into a market that's absolutely huge. And oh, sorry, not lastly, because I'm going to do MedPack. But the Naomi, you're tapping into a huge market. We're concerned that there's a lot of very big players in the marketplace, and not sure necessarily understanding what that secret sauce is, or that unique competitive differentiator that's going to give you a leg up against all the products that are currently on the market right now. So that's some consideration to ponder there. And lastly, but not least, is MedPack. Sorry about that. We think that you've got an interesting concept. We're just really concerned that the pace at which you're moving seems very, very slow with respect to, I understand you want to bootstrap as much as you can, and you know, get your product out, get your product developed in, you know, a reasonable way with all the best practices and all the market input, but it seems slow. You know, what your timelines were that you posted in your presentation. So that, you know, based on the 5 minutes we heard from you in the Q&A, that was just some of the feedback. We didn't have a presentation from Brush Gallery today, but I think I've covered all the companies. I think you did a wonderful job, all of you presenting, and I was really pleased to be part of the jury here. This is my actual first time as, you know, the official demo day, Balkans demo day. So congratulations to all the teams, and good luck in your journey as founders.
Thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you, jury, for amazing input and comments. I can say that for sure. And congrats, you know, the most promising pitch and the most promising startup once again.
Yay.
Amazing. And really, like, you know, wrapping up in the best possible way, hearing out all the feedback from the jury, you know, that was one of the key points of the demo day. You know, it's not a selection process. It's not that, you know, we really see the potential of working with each and every one of you. And we now have actually the basics and the blueprints of starting off that joint work together. So you can expect an email from us as of tomorrow with next steps and kind of following up on that, you know, how can we work and kind of help you grow from that point on. And we're looking to explore individually with each and every one of you on how to do so in a best manner. Again, and this is really amazing, we are exactly on time. So great job, everybody. Thank you for joining us this evening and spreading the night/morning with us, depending on the time zone you were joining in, and hope to see you soon, both in virtual and live setup as soon as possible. So thank you once again, everybody, and see you soon.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.